The Igneous Capes are one of the strongest upgrades you can get for your Runescape character, and are a must-have for all combat styles. They don't require a long grind or a rare drop, but instead task you with clearing 3 wave-based challenges. This video will give you all you need to beat the second in the series, the Fight Kiln, and obtain your first Kiln Cape. The cape you're offered as a reward for beating the Fight Kiln will match the style of combat you use to clear it. To be able to start the Fight Kiln, you need 2 things. First, you need a Fire Cape, obtained by beating the first challenge, the Fight Cave. The Fire Cape you earn must be sacrificed to unlock the Fight Kiln, so you may wish to earn another one first. Secondly, you must complete the Elder Kiln quest. This has moderately higher requirements of 60 agility and 75 magic, and gives a small demo of the Fight Kiln, as well as delving into the lore and history behind the Tsar race, and what the Tokkul you trade with them really is. With the quest complete and a Fire Cape sacrificed, you should now prepare for the 37 waves of battle up ahead. A couple items are absolutely necessary. Your usual stat boosting potions, prayer restoring potions, and food in order to survive the waves, and your runes, ammo, or ectoplasm if using those styles. You also need to bring a melee switch if not using melee, as with a pickaxe on your tool belt, you must melee the Dill enemies to break their armor. Lastly, the Tokkul Zo grants 10% increased damage against Tsar and Obsidian creatures. As for the rest of your equipment, wear the best you have available. Tier 70 armor and weapons are recommended and not too difficult to obtain by this point, as well as bringing your best stat boosting cape and necklace slot items. You can also bring a shield, or with 60 necromancy a nexus, to use defensives, but they aren't necessary at all. Another 2 highly recommended tips are to use a Beast of Burden familiar and fill the summon with as much extra food and prayer restoration potions as you can fit, as well as using the Vampirism aura purchased for 5,000 marks of war from War's Wares in case you have extra difficulty surviving. Once you enter the kiln, you must ask to fight the Tsar to begin the challenge. Here you have 2 options, slow spawns or fast spawns. With slow spawns, it takes around 15 seconds after the last enemy in a wave dies before the next wave spawns, so it can be useful whilst learning, whereas fast spawns has new enemies spawn within 3 seconds instead. The waves are made up of an assortment of 8 different Tokhar. The Her and Mejkot attack with melee, the Zil and Tokzil with ranged, and the Mej and Ketzek with mage. Like most monsters, these will damage you through prayer, but unlike in old school RuneScape, they do not do anywhere near as much damage, with the most you'll be hit for by any one monster being only several hundred damage. Don't forget that if a wave features a lot of the same creature, you can use Devotion to negate all damage via prayer for up to 20 seconds. The 2 creatures to watch out for are the Jads and the Dills. Jads are the same as in the Fight Cave, slow, telegraphed, mage or range attacks that hit incredibly high but are blocked fully by prayers, and a melee attack if you stand too close. The Dills are new, and often problematic for players. They're immune to damage, unless first hit with a pickaxe or a melee weapon with a pickaxe in your tool belt. The secret to beating them is twofold. Bleed and multi-hit attacks break their armor significantly faster, and they attack far less frequently if you disable your prayers. For waves 1 to 30, I recommend standing in the southeastern corner for 2 main reasons. Enemies always spawn in the 4 corners of the arena, so being as far from the middle as possible gives you a longer time to take down those that spawn near you before the others move up, and the walls to your north and west commonly block enemies, letting you deal with them in fewer groups at a time. Secondly, Jad will always spawn in the southwestern corner and get stuck on the nearby wall, so you're always safe from the only deadly creature here. Whilst progressing through the waves, crystals will spawn in the middle of the arena. Magic, ranged, and strength crystals will heavily boost the relevant stat for 210 seconds, but reduce your defensive stats in return. Invulnerability crystals make you immune to damage for 30 seconds, and restoration crystals will immediately boost your health and prayer to full. Constitution crystals will increase your max health for 210 seconds, and have no drawback. These are not necessary to beat the kiln, and can be completely ignored, but will prove useful in a pinch. Each 10th wave will feature a Jad in the southwestern corner, and after clearing it, the arena will shrink. For waves 1 to 10, 11 to 20, and 21 to 30, it's still recommended to use the southeastern corner to handle enemy spawns, but from wave 31 onwards, the arena has only 1 remaining wall in the direct centre, and using this wall to your advantage can halve the number of enemies that can attack you at once. Waves 31, 32 and 33 feature 4 ranged, 4 melee and 4 mage enemies respectively, and are therefore not too difficult. The next 3 waves are the real challenge of the kiln. Move to the north of the wall for wave 34, as a Jad spawns in the southeastern corner. Once cleared, go to the west or south of the wall to avoid the new Jad spawning on the northeastern corner in wave 35. A helpful reminder, aside from Jad, all the enemies here do not hit that hard. Focus entirely on praying correctly against Jad's attacks and you will be fine. Wave 36 spawns 2 Jads in the southern corners. Move north of the wall, and then step out sideways to make sure you only fight one at a time, and do not get into melee distance. Wave 37 is the final boss of the Kiln, but contrary to what you'd expect, is an incredibly easy boss. Hurakan does not attack you directly, instead spawning tentacles around the edges that attack with ranged or magic attacks. Clear these to lower damage taken and get your adrenaline up for when Hurakan does appear. On the third set of tentacles spawning, the boss will surface and be vulnerable. Use this period to simply deal as much damage as possible to it, as once it dies, the fight is over. If you do not manage to end the fight in one go, Hurakan will hide again for 72 seconds and spawn tentacles the entire time. Simply clear them and keep your health high, and you'll beat it, no problems. Make sure you choose the correct option from the Ket for your reward, and go and get your gear and stats up, as the challenge to upgrade your Kiln cape to an igneous cape, beating Zuk and the Tsekhar, is far more difficult.